Hey guys, this is Patty B within the hauler. I got another firearm I'd like to share with y'all. This is my Century Arms VZ-2008, which is a clone of the Czechoslovakian VZ-58, chambered in 7.62 by 39. These went into service with Czechoslovakia in 1959 up until present. I think they're probably mostly phased out by the brand 805 by now. But when they became part of the Warsaw Pact back in the day, the Soviets wanted all their buddies to use the 7.62 by 39. Well, the Czechs were using the VZ-52 chambered in 7.62 by 45, and they pretty much forced them to go to the round that they wanted them to. So instead of just building another AK, this is what the Czechs came up with. Completely new and unique design. It looks kind of AK-ish, but it shares no parts with the AK. So instead of a long stroke piston, this has got a short stroke piston. Instead of a rotating bolt, it has kind of a falling block design. Instead of a true hammer, this is striker fired. This one here has a 16-inch barrel. It measures about 36 inches overall, and on my scale weighs 6 pounds and 14 ounces. So it's really light and handy, which is nice. Everybody likes guns that are light and handy. Some of the features on this is you've got your safety right here, which is completely different than an AK. You've got a bolt hold open, which you don't have an AK. You got a little button right there you can push, hold the bolt open. And then if your last round fired on an empty mag, it locks the back as well. Got your mag release right here, kind of AK-ish, but it's really only on the left side. Can't really do it from the right side. Your sights are pretty close to AK looking. Probably not exactly. I don't think they share any parts, but they look pretty similar. The sight picture does. We've got provisions for sling, both in the rear and the front. This originally came with a slant style brake, which isn't correct for this, so I put on this Czech style, what they call bear cam brake. We've got the bayonet lug right here, and then the cool beaver bark furniture. It's like wood and glue mixed together to make a synthetic. Pretty cool, kind of iconic on this rifle. So one of the differences also between this and the AK is this has like a milled receiver, which there are AKs with milled receivers, but the vast majority of them are stamped. Another thing that's pretty interesting is how wide open, when you pull the bolt carrier all the way to the rear, how you have this huge wide open gap right here, which probably makes it easy to get rounds out, but maybe it makes it easier to get junk in. But that's pretty cool how it's open top like that. So I got this at a Palmetto State Armory years ago, back when these things were dirt cheap. I got this with 5 mags, a mag pouch, a bayonet, and a cleaning kit for $3.79. And for that kind of price, I mean, how can you not buy it? So I enjoy this just as much as my AKs. Sometimes maybe I think a little bit more, just because it's lighter than any of my AKs. A little bit lighter, a little bit handier. Shoots just as good. So it's pretty cool. The takedown on this thing, of course, is going to be a little bit different. So we'll go ahead and run through that now. You make sure you have to have your striker forward. So you got to make sure you're cleared. Pull the trigger. You've got this push button. Go ahead and push that out, and then your dust cover can come off. You've got your main recoil spring on the top, and then you've got your striker spring on the bottom. You can pull the bolt carrier to the rear and just pull it out of the gun. So you can see how the operation of this is with your falling block there. So when it comes down, the falling block falls near the battery. And when the short stroke gas piston hits the carrier, it lifts that falling block and it can cycle to the rear. And then when it comes forward, goes into battery and drops that fallen block. And that's what locks it up. This is your striker right here. You see the internals of the rifle, completely different than what you'd have on the AK as far as your trigger and all that back there. So there you go. That's all you do for basic stripping. You can remove this upper handguard as well. I'm not going to right now, but one of the issues that the Sentry guns had that I guess the checkpoint VZ-58s didn't have was an issue they called the gremlin, which is the trigger not resetting. And that's basically, from what I've read, is the tab on this carrier does that. So mine did not come with a tab. This is my original carrier here, and there is no welded tab right here. So I didn't have any issues with mine. Some people say they did. So I just went ahead and did a preemptive strike and bought a carrier, I think I got from Apex Parts, that already had this little tab welded in. And this is supposed to cure the gremlin issue. Like I said, mine didn't have it. I mean, I don't have a crazy amount of rounds through mine, but mine shot fine. But I figured I'd just go ahead and buy this, and you wouldn't have to worry about a gremlin ever showing up. So, all right, we'll go ahead and put this back in, slide in your bolt and carrier. There's the dust cover. And there you go. Here's the mags for these. The mags are pretty cool because they're aluminum as opposed to steel like an AK mag, which probably means they're less durable, but it also means they're significantly lighter. And this is your bolt hold open feature right here. You see this little ridge that runs down the back of the mag, but that's your bolt hold open. So yeah, she's a fun rifle. So well, hey, let's take her out and do some shooting. All right, let's take some shots at 100 with the VZ-2008. Not bad. All right, let's take some shots at 200. All right, we're back inside from shooting the VZ-2008. Give my final thoughts on it, and well, they are, man, I really like this rifle. I've got several AKs. I've got Chinese AKs, Russian AKs, Romanian AKs, and I'd put this up against any of them. You know, it shoots really good. Shooting it is so similar because the sight picture is so close to it. It's just lighter. I like it because it's you know, 6 3/4 pounds versus 7.5, give or take, of, you know, what your standard AKM is. Paid next to nothing for it. Yeah, I know it's a Century Arms product, and that'll put a bad taste in people's mouths, but so far so good. I haven't had any issues with it. I take it outside, you know, I can shoot it pretty good, so no complaints from me. So I'll give you a last look here. All right, guys, Century Arms VZ-2008. Y'all have a nice day.